Welcome to another episode of the PhDyer vlog. I have Lady Belle with me. She is just about 15 weeks old now. Super fluffy, getting fluffier by the day. Super tall, she's getting very tall. About 22 pounds. She loves to eat socks. Look at this, got a little teddy bear. Yeah, so she's gonna podcast with me today because she's great. Yes. I just got out of the dye studio. Sorry, my hair is crazy. I got out of the shower. It was really hot in there today. It's just about, I think it reached like 83 today. I need to go pick up the small air conditioning unit from the storage unit. I'm moving everything out of there the first week of May, but I don't think I can wait until then. I really need to, here you go. I really need to get it now because on days like this, like the heat actually makes me sick. It's so hot in there. And there's no amount of like normal AC in the house or in any house that could keep up with the sauna that I'm creating in the room. So I just really need my little unit to combat that. I am enjoying my candle from our new woolen mystery clubs. I won't tell you what scent it is. It is a mystery. I mean, you know you get a candle, but I'm not going to tell you the scent. I may have already told you the scent. I'm not sure, but what? Is your sock on here? But yeah, I have some new things to show you, which I'm super excited about. Ow, that's my leg. As most of you know, I started granny squares, and you probably know because I asked for help. I like totally couldn't figure out. I forget what I was doing wrong, but I couldn't figure it out. Come on, you're biting my leg. It hurts. How about this one? There we go. So I did figure it out. Thank you so much for everybody who reached out. Some of you made videos. Like, it was crazy, crazy nice, and I really, really appreciate it. I mean, I couldn't even believe how nice it was that you went out of your way to do things like that. So thank you so much. It really worked. I have been granny squaring. I'm mixing the Euphoric Boucle, Fairy Tale, Storybook Endings, and Unicorn. So I don't really have any set granny square that I'm making. Oh, and then this is my main color. This goes on the outside of every granny square because they're going to join up to make a cardigan. So I don't have any set like pattern thing that I'm doing where the colors are set for rows. I'm actually alternating. Isn't that gorgeous? So right here is Boucle, and then Unicorn I did for like 2 rounds. And, oh, I'm gonna drop that. This one I did Storybook Endings on the outside, and Boucle, and then the Fairy Tale on the inside. This one was 2 rounds of Fairy Tale, a little bit of Unicorn. So I'm just kind of like mixing and matching them. Just whatever I feel is pretty or whatever I feel calls to me in the moment when I do my little granny square. Some of them are off. This one's a messed up granny square, but I might still use it. I haven't decided. I guess I'll have to decide when I put it together if it's going to mess it up or not. So those are my granny squares. I think I have like 6 now. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I have 6. They're 4x4. I don't know if all granny squares are that. I assume you can make them smaller or larger. But they're 4x4 granny squares, and I'm so excited with them. Like, when I put them together, and there are some pictures of this in the making update if you want to see like the blog, and I laid them all out, but like together, oh my gosh, like, they're gonna make the prettiest cardigan. Really excited. I also like question whether or not I should just start hanging them on the wall and make a wall of granny squares. I mean, like, I'm granny square crazy now. I don't know why I waited this long to like try it out. I guess because I was never really a crocheter. It is hurting my wrist a little bit, like, to get used to the movement, but I'm so excited about it. And they're so quick to whip up. I imagine this cardigan, like, if I had a whole day to sit and crochet, like, I could totally do that all in like a day or two and then join them all together in another day. Maybe that's ambitious, I don't know, but 6 of them went really quick. Like, it might be like 2 hours worth of crocheting. So, really happy about that. I finished my striped sweater. So I feel like I have to try it on for you because it came out so pretty. Fantastic. There are lots of ends to, well, I should just say that I have to check the ends. I did the weave in Stevens, so like I don't know that, like I feel like they're all secure and I don't have to really do anything. But I'm going to check it over just to make sure I did weave in all of them. There are some, I think on the collar. I'm like, this is not food. We talked about this, hand knits. But it came out so good. It's like one of those sweaters I feel like I could knit quite a few times. So let me see if I can show you what it looks like. Here it is. Isn't it great? It comes down like right where I wanted to on my hip, which I think is fantastic. It's got that cute little design element I did by accident, which I'm kind of in love with now. And the sleeves, which match the body perfect, which I'm so excited about, come 3/4 length just below my elbow. So I guess I'll just wear this for the rest of the vlog. Came out so good. Come on, you're over here. So I'm really happy with it. It is a DK weight. I held fingering weight double. It's supposed to be kind of like a sport. I know DK and sport can sometimes be interchangeable-ish. I don't know if anybody else goes by that rule, but I kind of use them interchangeably if the gauge comes out right. But yeah, it just needs to be blocked. I'm going to block it. I don't want to block it out. I'm not going to block it aggressively. I kind of am in love with the fit. I think it fits absolutely perfect. It's literally a sweater made for me. So I don't really have to do much to it. Just block it. Keep it the way it is. I am, however, going to use a color catcher, like a lot of them. These are really, really saturated reds, blues, and greens. And I have some neutrals in here that I want to protect. So I'm going to put a couple color catchers in there when I hand wash this, just to make sure the red and the blue and that don't bleed a little bit into my neutrals. Because some bleeding does occur. And, you know, as much as us indie dyers, we wash it out, we try our best, but as you work with it, you can definitely get it coming off a little bit where your neutrals are not safe. So I'm going to use a color catcher, and then I think it should be fine. I'll have an update on that. This is my He Has Risen. I think we talked about this last time because I was like knitting it while we were, hey, hand knits. No hand knits. Oh, oh my. Did you bark at your mommy? You're mad. You're obviously very mad. Now, I think we talked about this last time. This is my He Has Risen shawl. And it is basically, I just knitted this twice. It's the yarn over, like you drop yarn overs on this section. I don't know how that happened, but I'm just going to leave it. I don't hate it. It'll be fine. When it's all wrapped around my neck, you'll never know. The stitch count comes out. I'm just going to leave it. So I'll probably just continue with this, she's crazy, with this yarn over section here to make this little eyelet, and then I'll do the garter and I'll add in the pink again, and it'll be fine. So yeah, I'm just leaving it. I don't mind it. So I'm really loving the color, and stop it. She's trying to steal my yarn ball. Of course I dropped it. Yeah, so I think it's coming out really nice. I really love the pastel type colors. This mint is really nice. So I'm enjoying kind of doing something in this color palette because I feel like I haven't knit, like it's been super dark for so long, and spring is finally here. So this feels nice and like springy. and super like open with the lace, the simple lace sections, and I just feel like it's a breath of fresh air to knit something like delicate, you know? So that's that. It's been kind of slow going with that. I've been super focused on the granny squares, just like obsessed with granny squares, so I haven't seemed to really work on anything else much, but I mean, that's okay, right? I still haven't gotten my sewing machine. Still plan on getting that when I empty the storage unit. But I did do a little more of my cross stitch. I'm not sure if this is new compared to the last week, but I got a little hanger done. Isn't that cute right there? This little hanger. I just have to put the little hook on the hanger, and then this is going to be an iron, like that you iron clothes with. And then I did a little bit of gingham. I outlined. I think I already have that done. So this is going really well. I've been enjoying it, but I haven't had enough time to really sit and work on it. It's just something that in between dyeing, you can't really do it because there's so much counting involved that I feel like when I have to keep getting up and going back to it, I sort of get lost and I have to recount. So I've been having kind of a hard time. I'm assuming that might take just a little practice once I get better at it. But I feel good about the stitching right now. I do drop stitching a lot where I'll get all into stitching and then I put it down and I don't pick it up for a long time. But right now I'm feeling really good about it. I don't feel like I should force myself to do it when I'm not really enjoying it. I just do things when I enjoy them. I know it's like my job as a podcaster to try and do things, but, and I do. I try to push through sometimes, but I got in a real rut with stitching and I thought, it's not making me happy, so like I'm not gonna do it. Stop forcing myself to do it, I'll come back to it. And I did. I came back to it with this. This is making me want to do Hawk Run Hollow again that I started. There was one other, there were little summary ones. They're smaller projects, and I had finished a little bee with a beehive and all kinds of little scenery on there. And now I want to do, it's called Summer Smalls, that's what it's called. And they had one with like a watermelon, they had berries. I think I almost had finished the berries one, so I kind of want to go back to those as the summer approaches. So I think I've just kind of got like a stitching bug all of a sudden. So I'm just going to ride it out and hope that it stays. For now, I'm really excited about my little hanger and my iron. So yeah. Oh, and mommy taught me this loop method. So when you're threading your first stitch, or when you thread the needle, you put in the loop into the eyelet of the needle and you pull it through, and then when you go into your first stitch, you put it through that loop and it makes a knot, so to speak, where it anchors the thread. And so I've been doing that and it makes like a super clean back. Now most of this is done in a different fashion, but I started this loop method on this one. And for the most part, it's like the cleanest backed project that I've had. And honestly, like, I usually don't care what the back looks like, but I did notice when I stitched just haphazardly, I was getting knots, and when I came up into a different stitch, it would pick up threads or anything that was sort of like hanging. Lady Belle's eating something. I'll be right back. I don't know what we were eating, but it was quite loud. And she's always eating something now. Who knows? I tried. So that's my stitching. She just doesn't want me to podcast. She doesn't like it when I podcast. Oh, I wanted to show you. I had all this yarn left over. I mean, there's so much yarn left over for my sweater. Probably because I did fingering weight and held it double. But just so you know, there's a lot of yarn left over when you do it this way. I'm not sure if there is if you use actual sport weight. But I'm just going to put them with the rest of my, I have like a little or a large basket now full of extra yarn balls and things that are left over from projects, and I'll either put them in blankets, or I was thinking about making cork board with all of my cakes and things like that. So yeah, that's my making. Give me a minute, Lady Belle. Now she wants to go out. I'm sorry. When she's waiting, you want to say? And she is waiting. We have this scale there because we were weighing her. 1 minute. So I think we are going to start a knit along. So we want to do a summer knit along. We want to do the Rocket Tee by Tanis Fiber Arts. It's a really easy tee. You can put stripes to it. I'm all in the mood for stripes. So is mommy. Now that like I did my stripe sweater, I kind of want to do another stripe. We have Fresh from the Coop, those minis, and we have the fairest of them all white, that pure white. We're gonna make a kit with that. It's gonna be a gorgeous white sweater with smaller stripes of the Fresh from the Coop minis. So I'm really excited about it. Come here. Don't pee in there. Thank you. I'm really excited about it. Mommy's making that palette. I'm not sure that that's the one I'm doing because I'm actually going to do a sea glass sweater in those. I don't know. I'm like between colors on which I should do now. I might do the Rocket Tee in those colors, and then I might do the sea glass in the Christmas Advent colors. So I'm just knitting the sea glass. Maria's doing it too, and I was like, oh my gosh, we should do it together. If anybody else wants to knit a sea glass, I'd be happy to, you know, keep up with that. If you want to just for fun, that's not a knit along, but it's just something we're doing because we're really excited about it. And we just so happen to kind of be in the same groove for doing that. So, but the Rocket Tee we are all going to do together. I haven't decided if I'm opening it to the public. I might open it up and create the kits. We're going to take the next few days. I wanted to tell you guys about it first. And then, so start thinking about whether you wanted to join and what colors you might want to use. And then basically, I'll decide if I want to open it to the public, and we'll have a Zoom night where we can all discuss colors and like plans for what you guys are going to do for your tea, and we can kind of like share what we're going to do and whether or not we're going to do stripes or a solid color. I've seen Rocket Tees done all different types of ways, so it'll be a lot of fun. So decide like now if you think you might want to do a summer knit along. We always do a no pressure, or we try to make it a less pressured knit along. We always do a prize, or sometimes we do a prize. I'm not sure if we always did one. This time we're definitely doing a prize. There'll be like some guidelines on how to win the prize and what to do. And so it'll be a really nice prize, and it'll probably be like a 2 or 3 month knit along. Probably 2 months. The Rocket Tee is really not a difficult shirt to knit, so maybe 2 months. I think that might be an adequate time. If anybody else has some suggestions on a timeline or like colors or anything you want to see come out of the knit along, let me know. As you know, like I'm new to knit along still. I mean, starting the business is something I do full time, and so getting into knit alongs and making kits and doing all that is something that we're kind of growing into as a small business, as a small indie dyed yarn business. So if you have any advice, or if you'd like to see something come out of the knit along, let me know. I'm happy to hear about it, because I know a lot of you test for people, you test patterns, and you do a lot of knit alongs as well. So you would probably know more than I would, because honestly, like the last time I tried to do a knit along, I fell so behind because I was in the dye studio 24/7. I spent more time dyeing yarn than I did knitting, but I tried, you know. So let me know what you think, and I'm super excited about it. You know me, I love sweaters. I love sweater knitting. So for a nice summer top, I'm really loving that. Okay, well, oh, one last thing. Some things got put behind. Kitty, one of our kitties, not Tigger, but one of the kitties that I've come to love, one of Jared's kitties, got really sick. She had like what appeared, her name's Mocha. She had like what appeared to be a mass on the side. And for whatever reason, he had a really hard time coming to terms with the fact that she'd have to go under in surgery and taking her. And I guess probably fearful about what the cost was, because you know when you go to the vet, it costs a lot of money. But when I got here and I met him, I'm like, you know, I'm looking at this. You know, mammary tumors are kind of really common in these cats, especially if you don't spay them, things like that. He felt so bad. He did not know spaying was something that was important for preventing such things. And I guess he wouldn't. He got 2 kitties and just to have as company, and they grew to be his family, and he really didn't know the repercussions. And so Kitty's tumor got worse, and when I got here, I was like, you know, we need to go. So we went, we got a quote, we worked out the money in any way we could, and we got surgery done, because it got to the point where the tumor was getting very infected. I could tell there was some sort of inflammation from the outside, and so when I palpated it, there seemed to be some issues there. So I said, you know, we got to take her. And thank God we did, because these past few days before she went into surgery, she got very sick, which is the infection taking hold, and it would have had to require emergency surgery had we not already made the appointment. So we had made the appointment at literally just the right time, where we didn't have to all of a sudden spring an emergency. It still was an emergency because we didn't know it was going to get this bad this quickly, but I had a feeling, so we went in and they scheduled the surgery. 2 days before the surgery, it ruptured. They said to let it drain, so we did. Sorry for anybody that's squeamish. And we got her there on this Tuesday. And so she went in for surgery. They thought it was going to be a simpler surgery than it was. They never know until they get in there. Once they got in there, it had innervated into the muscle in the front right arm, so they had to take it all the way up to the front right arm. So she is resting now. She's on a lot of pain medication and sedatives to kind of let her sleep through this, but it's going to be a long road to recovery, and it ended up being much worse than they originally thought. So we're just praying that she's going to be okay. She's up and coherent, eating, using the litter box, but we're just keeping the pain meds going to make sure that she's going to be okay. Now, that's not to say spaying is the be-all end-all. If you don't believe in spaying, that's okay. I have no judgment. I just spay and neuter my pets because that's what I feel like is best for them, with some of the things that happen with the hormones and all, for their health and for their behavior. A lot of times aggression can be an issue, urinating. But yeah, she is, from what I can see, she's a trooper. She's really taking it very well. I just know that with the muscle that they had to go into, that will be a long road to recovery. It does take quite a while for the muscle to heal when they have to cut muscle. But she's being seen again on Saturday, so I've just kind of been in and out of the vet's office while he's at work. He's come out of work to try to do what he can do. And we've just kind of been juggling it while we work. Thank God I work from home because I can be here for her. But yeah, if you do pray for little Mocha, because she's having a hard time right now. We're hoping when she pulls through all of this, she's got plenty of good years left, and I think she's going to be much more comfortable without that, and of course without infection, because that must have been making her feel awful. But yeah, Jared's super upset. He's beating himself up about it. He's really upset that he feels like he did it to her, you know. And I was trying to tell him, like, these things happen. Like, you know, you don't always have $5,000 to go get a surgery, and it becomes a really hard life decision. And he didn't want to put her down, so he had to, like, wait to get the money, and it was, you know, it gets really, really rough. They're not light financial decisions to make, especially, like, you know, especially for people like me. I run a small business. Like, I'm like literally sale to sale on whether or not I'm gonna make it. And for him, he's in sales. He sells cars, and so from month to month things change, and he had a really hard time coming up with that. So hopefully, you know, we just have to thank God we eventually he could get the money and then we could do it. And no matter when that happened, I mean, it's out of our hands. You know, there's only certain things you can do, and you try your best, and that's all you can do. So before she got it taken out, she acted completely normal. So it's kind of hard to make the call then too, like, how much do I touch something that's not bothering her? So when it started to bother her, he was like, we need to go. So yeah, we still think we made the right decision. We're just having a hard time watching her be, you know, heal. It's hard to watch them be sick. So if you do pray for Mocha. She's a sweet little kitty. She's part of the family, and we want her to get better. So we'll be working overdrive here. I got a trunk show, a lot of things to do, and I'm going to kind of be juggling that while I try to get Mocha better. So yeah, and then we got Lady Belle. She's hanging around. We're keeping Kitty very far away from playful Lady Belle at the moment because she's very rambunctious. The other kitties are super, like, attentive to Mocha. So Mocha's in this very large, like, playpen thing that we had gotten her to try to crate her in it rather than an actual hard crate. We thought maybe she'd stay in, because somebody suggested a playpen. That didn't happen. So the playpen ended up being great for Mocha because it contains her. She's not allowed to jump, and they wanted her very contained in a very, very small area. So they said the playpen was absolutely fantastic to have while she heals. So she's in a small playpen, and the other kitties, since it's netted, the other kitties are sitting by the playpen either watching or they're, like, you know, kneading the tent. It's super cute. We're trying to keep them off as much as possible because we don't want them to bother her, but they seem to bring her a little comfort. Like, they were sniffing each other, and then she laid back down. And yeah, sometimes they just sit there with her, which is so cute. They know their little friend is in some kind of pain. So yeah, so pray it all goes well, and that hopefully she heals really quickly, or quick as can be anyway, because it's much worse than we thought it was going to be. It was much worse than even the vet thought it was going to be, so, which sucks, but hopefully she'll come out better for it. So that's what's been happening. It's going to be a long week. For anybody who celebrates, happy Easter. We are not sure what we're doing for Easter yet. I'm going to try to get together with Mommy and Daddy. Obviously, Sammy's in Florida now with my nephew, Coda. But we're going to try to Zoom in some manner if we dye eggs or for whatever it is, to watch Coda kind of enjoy Easter as well, since we're not all together. But if you celebrate Easter, happy Easter. I hope that it is a really nice one for you if you go to church and spend the day, if you go with family. I hope everything's very nice for you. So Patron minis and self-stripping art is going out this Friday. They're Easter themed colors, so I hope you enjoy that. And yeah, I think that's it for this week. So I will see you next week. And sorry this is a little late. I will try to still post this weekend for another video. I'll show you all our Easter stuff if we do anything. So yeah, thanks for your patience, and thanks for all your support as usual. You guys are awesome. Bye. Hi everyone. It's about 8:30, 9 o'clock. I am getting ready because Jarrett's foster dad is coming over for the weekend. I'm gonna bathe Lady Belle, so I'm gonna show you guys how that goes, which is not usually smoothly. And then I'm gonna get some yarn washed, I gotta get some stuff shipped, and I have to clean the house. So it's gonna be a busy morning, but I think it'll go fine. So we'll see.
Look at your big paws. Oh, that's like gone already. Oh, her ears are in it. How's that? Okay, we're gonna let you lick it clean. Look at her tail.
It's swinging back and forth.
So, look at her big paw.